the very first thing you want to do when you get in as Leatherface is you want to start the chainsaw. Step 2 is to hunt the survivors. Now, if you want to have fun, you can just run around and search for them, or what you can do is you can patrol the objectives that are within your boundary, because you are not allowed to leave the basement until Grandpa wakes up, which is either from the survivors making too much noise or they open a door. So what you can do is patrol. There's usually 2 to 3 doors in the basement that lead to the surface. Patrol those 3 doors, and if you really want, you can also patrol the spots where they get lockpicks. However, I usually don't do that, but what I would recommend is patrolling the doors. When it comes to attacking with Bubba, usually you want to do 3 to 4 hits with his chainsaw, and then you want to rev the chainsaw until it's in the red and he's holding it above his head, and then you attack. The reason you do this is when it's over revved, it does bonus damage. On top of that, you move around 30% faster, and it executes. That's why you do the 3 to 4 hits before, because if you don't do the 3 to 4 hits before and you do the over revved attack, you'll hit them, they'll run away, and it'll stall the chainsaw, and you'll throw a tantrum where your character is stuck in place for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 seconds. So basically, revving the chainsaw on the red with it over your head speeds you up and gives you an execution. But those are the only 2 times you really want to use it, is to catch up to somebody or speed up and to execute them. Leatherface is like the rook of the team, and he breaks objects and makes it harder for the survivors to get around and to escape his other party members and himself. He's very good at making the plays for the family side a lot better. If people make it to the surface, I usually just leave the basement altogether. There isn't a track record saying, oh, 1 survivor is on the surface or there's 3 in the basement. It doesn't tell you any of that. You just have to assume either they're all in the basement or they're not all in the basement. Now, if you want to have fun, then you can just run around, search for people, look around the whole map. You can do that. If you really, really want to win, you should patrol the objectives, which to some might be boring, but if you really want to win, that's the way. So the objectives on the surface can be the generators that power electric fences, car battery, which also powers an electric fence, the fuse panels, or the pressure valve locations that require a valve to be put in. Some of Leatherface's downsides: he can't crawl, he can't climb, and he can't slide through walls nor interact with objectives. He can, however, break crawl spots, stab through the walls, which I don't recommend you do, break down doors, and break pallets that survivors crawl over. Breaking doors, breaking crawl spots, and pallets give survivors less room to get away and allows you to get in closer without you having to go around these obstacles. Now, like I was saying, if you hold and rev your chainsaw onto the red, it does like execution almost damage. And if they get hit 2 or 3 times, depending on their health pool, it will execute them, but it'll stall your chainsaw. And so you want to basically only do that if they're on death below. They make it upstairs already? Excuse me. You can also rev it to make it go faster. You run, I don't know, 20-30% faster. They're still down here. Basically just patrolling. Break this. I'm gonna go backwards. Hunt down the final victim. Found her. See, I'm keeping it in the red, and I executed her. There you go. Game's over. They didn't even leave the basement.